My name is Sirinam Khalsa, and I am an instructional leadership specialist at the High School of Science and Technology. And because the topic of bullying is something that I feel is essential to deal with if you're going to have a supportive school community, a safe school community, I took it upon myself to do a lot of research around this, and I've done activities, I've led activities with numerous schools in the different schools I've taught over the years that address this issue. I believe some people believe that teasing is okay and is part of growing up. And teasing is okay if both parties, individuals, are fine with it. And it's on a level of joking. But it could turn into harassment as soon as one person doesn't like what is being said or doesn't feel that what is being said is in their social best interest. Where it becomes difficult is when you're not sure what the culture is in the school, what is acceptable and what isn't. And you know, an easy way to find out is to ask the students. You know, what's acceptable here? Can you call each other this? Can you do that? What happens if somebody does this to somebody in the hallway? Ask the students, and you'll find out quickly what the culture of the school is.
I think everyone bullies someone at a point. Mm-hmm. And they don't think that they're doing it, they don't know that they're doing it, but they really are. And sometimes people don't hurt people intentionally, but they do it.
By jokes, jokes that make them seem like they're not part of the clique or whatever is going on, or whatever that one group of people are doing, or most, the majority.
Well, we do have a lot of fights, but mostly words. I guess, like walking down the hallway, you can hear somebody talking about somebody, or people approaching other people, saying negative things. Most people will think it's harmless, but I don't know.
Most of the time I hear like, oh, gay, or like stuff with orientation, clothing, like the latest clothing and stuff like that.
People talking about how people talk. I see bullying about what people wear, like what size they are, skinny or small.
Of course, the classic calling on your mother and people in your family, stuff like that.
I would see someone like laughing at someone who walked by. I don't see too much of physical bullying, just so much like verbal and like mental. Almost like a lot of people like use words almost to make people feel bad about themselves.
Kids walk down the hallway, the cool kids stand in the corner, and anybody that walk past them, they'll just talk about them, talk about how they're dressed and everything. They wouldn't care.
I see bullying just because if you come to school dressed a certain way, if you come to school and hang out with certain people, you get bullied all the time. I think when I thought about uniforms and they said, oh, it's going to help so that it can decrease bullying, bullying is going to happen whether everybody looks the same, because technically nobody can look the same no matter if they have uniforms, because everybody can do something to their uniform to look different. Like I have a white sleeve shirt underneath mine, so I stand out a little bit more than other people who just have a short sleeve polo on and some khakis. Everybody's khakis can look different. If you have a stain on your clothes, if your clothes look like they're too big or too small, you get talked about no matter what.
Because of the fact they don't really enforce it, I can walk in with an American Eagle red collar shirt, and someone else could walk in with one from JCPenney, and of course you're going to be able to tell the difference. And there's still the people who really dress it up and those who don't. So, like, if we had a set uniform, like you buy your shirt here, you buy your pants here, I think it would have helped, but it's not really doing a big change.
A lot of people, like from what I've been seeing now, especially with the little boy named Carl, it's hurting them like a lot, and a lot of people don't know how to handle that, and it's scary to know that 11-year-old boy can feel such a way to take his own life. Like, I don't think that it's right for anybody to talk about anybody. Like, I personally don't do it. I don't think there's much of a way to prevent it. There's not enough staff in a school or in a certain setting to focus on a certain student or a certain child. I think no matter what, somebody's going to talk about somebody. It doesn't matter. It's just the way they are. You can't prevent somebody from feeling a certain way. And there's a lot of people that are homophobic and that are like rich maybe or have a lot more money and live certain lifestyles, and they're going to stay the way they feel. And if other people, I think it should be like there should be people here in schools to help with it, saying like if I was being bullied, there would be somewhere I can go like, oh, this is what they're saying to me, so I can deal with it. Because a lot of kids don't know how to deal with it, can't bring that home. Like I know if somebody was calling me lesbian and I'd come home with it, I'd be worried about what my parents are going to say.
So there's nowhere here for you to go, no one to talk to?
Not that I know of.
So if there was a place like that, you think people would go and let it out there? Some kind of
like if it was confidential, like I think a lot of people would be able to go there. I mean, I know, like, personally, I know one of my good friends, he's gay. It actually took a lot for him to finally come out. Like, he went through a lot of verbal and physical abuse. And when he was going through that stage, like, he was very depressed. He didn't really talk much. And then there's a program with the YMCA, and they talk to him and basically like talk to his parents and stuff like that. And now he's very open. He doesn't really care what people say anymore. But it was hard when he was like dealing with that in himself, and then everybody telling him about himself was really hard for him. So like if they had something like the YMCA has for him that people know about, I think his situation would have been a lot smoother.
From what I've seen, teachers really don't do nothing. They just, because they figured that's like the student's problem, so they shouldn't really get into it. But I think that if they did, it probably wouldn't happen.
Teachers don't hear. We're in a classroom of 30 kids, and there are little asides that are said. You've been to school, I've been to school. So it's little asides, little fronts, little looks, little notes passed, little giggles amongst friends while you stare at somebody.
One of the problems is us as adults, how we see bullying. It's not part of growing up. Students don't have to learn to let it roll off their back. It is actually their civil right to feel protected in a school environment, in a neighborhood environment.